Hi, Miss Gia's class. All right, so one of your videos for today, which is Wednesday, June 17th, is we are going to read Monster Surprise again. Now, maybe you remember the story, and maybe you don't. So here is a chance to hear it again. And while you're listening, or after you finish, I'd like you to complete these questions about the book. So we have 10 questions in total. There are these 5 here, and then on the second page there's some other ones where there are questions. You have to match the rhyming words. You have to write why the animals were scared, and finish the sentence with one of these words. Okay? So, here we go. I'm going to read a monster surprise to you again. Let's begin. We have our wonderful map of the forest with our question mark here. Do you remember what the question mark becomes at the end of the book? What do they discover in this cave? Yeah, let's see. Okay. A monster surprise. Beneath the leafy rooftop of the woods in Little Nook was a very hungry rabbit who was searching by the brook. "My flowers have been stolen! Almost every single bunch!" Rabbit panicked, feeling sure that there was not enough for lunch. He saw a clump of fur between some sticks upon the ground, and it gave him an idea of where the culprit might be found. So do you guys remember what animal Rabbit thinks took his food? Yeah, he's thinking, this fur reminds me of the fur of this animal, which is the squirrel. So Rabbit marched to Squirrel's house to find his precious food, and to tell his friend that taking it was really rather rude. "Excuse me," shouted Rabbit, now with Squirrel in his sight. "I was really looking forward to my marigold delight. I know you took my flowers, please return them right away." But it wasn't only Rabbit who was missing food that day. Do you remember the food that Squirrel is missing? What food do squirrels eat? Let's see. "My acorns have been stolen," Squirrel shouted with a cry, "and the villain left a bite mark in my tree as they went by." The friends knew just one creature who would nibble on a tree, and it gave them an idea of where the culprit now might be. So on they marched to Beaver's house to find their precious food, and to tell their friend that taking it was really rather rude. So they're going to find the beaver, and do you remember the food that the beaver is missing? Let's see. "Excuse me," shouted Squirrel, now with Beaver up ahead. "I was really looking forward to my toast with acorn spread. I know you took my acorns. Would you kindly give them back?" But it wasn't only Squirrel who was cross about her snack. "My branches have been stolen," snuffled Beaver, full of grief. "And I'm sure I saw a pointy tusk belonging to the thief." The friends knew just one creature with a tusk of any sort, and it gave them an idea of where the culprit might be caught. Okay. Well, what's the next animal? Do you remember? A boar. Yeah. Like in The Lion King? Like Pumbaa? So, on they marched to Boar's house, off to find their precious food, and to tell their friend that taking it was really rather rude. "Excuse me," shouted Beaver, now that Boar was in her view. I was really looking forward to my branch and bramble stew. I know you took my branches, and I'd like them back, unchewed." But it wasn't only Beaver who was longing for her food. What did what did Boar get taken from her? Do you remember the food that they took from the boar? "My berries have been stolen," snorted Boar, wide-eyed with shock, "and the robber left some footprints leading right across the rock." I don't know of any creature who has footprints of that kind, so I think that we should follow them to see what we can find. The friends climbed up the rock, then clambered down the other side, as they trekked to find their food with just the footprints as their guide. Along a narrow path that formed a line between the trees, through the clump of thorny bushes that left scratches on their knees, across some jagged rocks displaying shadows on the floor, till they came across a cave that had a boulder for a door. And remember we said that this was definitely a picture of a bird, right? Yeah? No? No, what? Oh, what's it a picture of? Oh, yes, a handprint. Okay. What animal makes this handprint? What do you think? The boulder started moving, and the creature stood in fright as a silhouette inside began to shuffle into sight. "A monster!" Rabbit shouted as the friends all turned to flee. In the panic, Rabbit tripped, colliding headfirst with a tree. The monster's hand loomed down, and as it picked him up, he froze. What a scary beast it was, with hairy ears and crusty toes. "Don't eat me, please," begged Rabbit, looking straight into his eyes. "I won't eat you," laughed the monster as it chuckled with surprise. "Oh, thank you," answered Rabbit as he brushed the dirt away. "Don't be frightened," said the monster. "I'm just checking you're okay." The monster mumbled shyly as it bent down on one knee. "I wondered if you all would like to join me for some tea?" The monster clicked its fingers. Let me try that again. The monster clicked his fingers, and the glowworms shined their light on the most amazing party full of wonderful delights. "Our favorite foods," said Rabbit. Now the monster's plan was clear, and the creatures all said sorry for reacting with such fear. "Please join me," said the monster as it headed for the seats. "You can help yourself to cups of tea and lots of yummy treats." When Rabbit's little tummy brimmed with marigold delight, and when all the toast had gone with no more acorn spread in sight, when Boar was full of berries and the stew was at an end, they hugged and thanked the monster, who was now their brand new friend. The end. So yeah, now we see this question mark became the monster's cave. So they remembered. Do you remember? Before it was a question mark, and now they have the name. They know what is in the cave. It's their new friend's house. So we have the log, Rabbit's log, the tree, Squirrel's tree, Beaver's dam. So when beavers put all their sticks in the water, it's called a dam. Boar's nest, So the boar makes like a little nest on the floor where he sleeps. And then they walked through the woods, they went through the bushes, they went over the rocks and found themselves in the monster's cave. All right, friends. So now, if you didn't already complete your worksheet, you should be thinking, what do you remember? So you need to answer the questions. All right? So you get to 1, practice your reading when you read the questions, and 2, practice your memory. What do you remember from the story? Okay? So, if you need to review the story again, you can always watch this video again. You can watch it as many times as you want. I hope that you enjoyed the story, A Monster Surprise, and I will see you guys in Zoom tomorrow. Bye!